Welcome back to another video, guys. In this video, I'm gonna be showing you guys how I prepare their meals. So yeah, stay tuned. All right, y'all, welcome back to my office, aka the kitchen. As you guys can see, I have a big piece of meat here, beef to be more specific. So I've gotten a few questions recently on how I prepare the cat's daily meals, specifically muscle meat. Muscle meat is the 80 in the 80-10-5-5 PMR diet, which stands for prey model raw, which is a ratio that I consider to be the basis of raw feeding, because you're going to need to add more things to this diet to make it more complete, because you're going to have a few deficiencies within this diet, but that's going to be another video for another day. And also I'll show you guys how to do organs in another video. But basically what you see me doing here is I'm cutting this meat into chunks and then I'm weighing it up. So what I normally do is I buy 4 pounds, not 4 pounds, I buy 4 different types of proteins per month, about 20-25 pounds worth. So I'm gonna have that in rotation, and my cats are gonna get all 4 proteins every day. So what I normally do is I just take their daily muscle meat requirement and divide that into 4. And I do this for each cat. So for example, if Mocha is getting 120 grams a day, he gets 30 grams of each protein to equal out 120. It's not always perfect. Sometimes it'll be a little bit over, or sometimes it'll be a little bit less, but that's okay. It's totally okay. So don't worry too much about the numbers, but make sure it's around what they need to be getting. So yeah, moving on, I try to keep most of their diet to a red meat, but sometimes I do get chicken and I do get turkey, and that's totally okay as well. And I try to get red meat a lot because mostly what they're going to be eating in the wild when they catch their prey is going to be considered red meat. Okay, so whether it's mice, rats, rabbits, birds, anything like that, any small prey like that, they're all going to be considered a red meat. So make sure you try to get red meats into your cats, dogs, and ferrets diet, okay? It's not hard to source it, so local grocery stores or whatever, you can get some beef, lamb, anything like that. So moving on, what we have here in this video, or this section of this video, is turkey breast. And we're going to do the same thing that we did for the beef chunks. This is going to be 1/4 of their daily muscle meat intake. Like I said, I'll show you guys in a separate video how I do the organs. It's going to be similar but very different because they require less organs than the actual muscle meat itself. So that's important to note, because you don't want to end up giving your cat vitamin A toxicity, giving it too much liver, right? That's an important thing to monitor when you're feeding raw food. You have to have appropriate ratios. You give too much organs, sometimes it's like their stomachs can be sensitive and they can get diarrhea and whatnot. So I always want to monitor the poops as well when you're raw feeding. That's a good indicator on what you need to add to the food, whether it be bone or more organs. So coming up in this video, like for this week, which is what I'm doing a week's worth, just because it takes so long, right? This is one downside to raw feeding, is if you do DIY, it takes quite a while. It just takes a while because you got to cut everything up and weigh it out and then portion it. So if you're doing it like this, you're going to definitely need to set aside some time to prepare their meals, okay? So yeah, right here we have some turkey thighs, and I usually buy the ones that have bone in and that have the skin, just because it's a little bit cheaper, and I don't mind trimming all the extra skin and fat off. It's totally okay. And then the last thing I'm gonna prepare is their whole prey portion. I already did Mocha's mice. This is a little bit easier than what Casper and Taz get. As you're gonna see just in a few moments, they're gonna get a whole ground quail, which is a whole quail that is has been put through the grinder, right? So it has organs, feathers, everything in it. Nothing was removed. So when I prepare this one, I kind of do either frozen or slightly frozen or slightly thawed, just because it's easier and it's a little bit less messier. You can do it with or thawed out, but I just like to do it like this because, as you can see, it's not as messy. But that's pretty much it. So, I mean, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to hit me up. All right. See you guys later.